Hey, hey, what, Dr. 144 here. The plan was to do like Julia does on Simplicity Revealed, take the dogs for a walk. I woke up at 6:27 and last day or two we've had rain and rain and yet more rain. And I awoke this morning to the sound of falling rocks, which was no surprise because yesterday, early afternoon, the weight of all this rain we've had has collapsed a big part of the wall. And yeah, it can seem very disheartening. And I don't know if we can see him here. There's Buddy. And Biggie is very much a sort of one of these one-person dogs. They've just heard a car, and he's sort of so devoted to Julia. I don't know if he'll even come on a walk, but it's what it is. It's atypical of this reality. I was watching True Love Channel's latest video last night, a personal decode of events in this reality, and what has happened here. This heavy rain, the collapsing wall. Buddy playing up a little bit is he can chase cars, as I found out yesterday, because going into the Matrix to the shops, he ran alongside the car and I couldn't outrun him because it's a dirt road, so you can't really get higher than second gear. So it's then a case of turn back, bring him back. So he sort of had quite a decent run really yesterday. So this is life. This is this reality. What are we supposed to do about it? Well, the lesson I've learned many times, and this is something that I feel everybody can sort of learn from. If you see this reality, not just the world as a stage, and as I've said before, and Hollywood shows this many times, if an actor does not use discernment and actually look very carefully at the scripts being offered, and when I say scripts, I mean events, situations, interactions. It can be anything. Anything that is external view is like a Hollywood script. So do you take a drama or a soap opera type script, or are you a more discerning actor and look for far better roles to play? Now, there is a perception of this reality of one of duality or contrast. And that's exactly what today is. This is like the presentation of the negative. Okay, as far as the actual nature goes, this is welcome. Everything flourishes. It's forecast that we'd have rain for 2 days, and then it'll be sunshine again. So this will all dry out again, and within a couple of days, the ground will probably look like it's not had any water. It's just this climate. But because we're in this realm of duality, what seems to happen is you get given a negative presentation, or what appears to be a negative presentation. So look at it like passing clouds. These are all, and it's been a theme over the last few years about testing. These are tests upon our self, our true self, to hold true and have faith in oneself. Because if you let those negatives pass, like the rocks that have gone down the bank, it's like I could get really disheartened and despondent by it, but that's not going to achieve anything. So let the negative things pass. And what then follows, because this is a realm where you do have duality, you have contrast. Otherwise you wouldn't be able to distinguish colours, you wouldn't be able to distinguish uphill from downhill, and so on. You need the one to see the other. That is the experience of this reality. So am I disheartened by what's happened? No, I just laugh because I know and I feel inside that what follows will be an even greater positive. But it all depends if you react to the negative presentation, or if you sit back, let it pass, and allow the positive to come. And the rain has eased off, so we may even be able to take the dogs for a walk. But I don't think I filmed that because the weight of the day's gone. The water will probably get in the phone and mess it up, and then that'll be the end of the phone. Don't want to manifest that, and certainly haven't got a fear of it, but it's using a bit of common sense, discernment, weighing things up, weighing up the costs. It's like, is it worth making a video and then losing the phone, and then of course wouldn't even be able to upload a video? Or do we just hold back and wait for better weather? But there's another contrast. Blue skies one day, and then another day you have heavy rain. This pattern just repeats over and over again. And it's our energy that's in our aura. When you have a feeling, you are emitting that feeling. And this is a neutral field, this reality. So whatever feeling that you're putting out into this reality, the reality will match that feeling and give you more of how you're feeling. That on top, of course, of these tests, these scripts. If you think of a computer game, for example, you're playing a level of a computer game, and within that game, that character has various challenges. And the challenges will get harder and harder each time. But you overcome them to get through the level on that game. And this reality is not unlike that. After all, think about, what are the computer games really based on? What are they teaching us? What are they showing us? So do I feel despondent? Do I feel disheartened? No. I'm still laughing. I can laugh at it. It's like, there's another aspect to it. It's like, who built the wall? Who has to take responsibility? But let's weigh up the positives to this. I'm going to get a lot more exercise out of it for a start. It's back to the drawing board. It's start again. I think we use a bit of some, well, not a bit, we use quite a lot of cement next time, and I think rather than start rebuilding it, first of all, I've got to start clearing away the rocks, and then I shall put them into weight and size order and start by putting the heaviest ones at the bottom, maybe even put more of a lean back angle and with the cement, and we'll see how that goes. Life is all a learning curve, and some things fail, some things don't. Little example here, this pillar. I've done a cement rendering because it was exposing there's actually I don't know if it'll still show. Yeah, there's still a slight hole here, so I've got to go over this again, and then I may even use this beautiful white cement and just paint over it, or a masonry paint over the top of that. These earth brick structures, they can suffer a bit from the rain, and it does start washing things away, but prevention being better than cure, rather than wait for the thing to collapse in the case of these buildings, then you do your best to keep them in good repair. So plenty of little jobs to be done, plenty of skills to learn, and this life, this reality is all a learning curve. So, little video, like I said on previous videos, I'll share with you the failures as well as the successes, because it's all part of the tapestry, it's all part of the ingredients to make up this experience from birth to death that's called life. And how we respond, how we react, what we learn from the events, that is even reflected physically. And this is something Rudolf Steiner talks about. As people get older, how you observe that a lot of people, their necks seem to shrink and their heads seem to be almost disappearing into their body. It's like a reflection of the spirit or the soul of that being has given up, and probably very close-minded, and doesn't want to admit that maybe their entire life they've been lied to, or they've not seen this reality for what it is. Imagine if you were faced with a retired university professor who'd got loads of diplomas and PhDs and so on and degrees, and had built a very good career and got a reputation. And are they ever going to realise that they've been lied to and they're perpetuating a lie, spreading it unknowingly a lot of the time? They're never going to accept that. But this life, you have to find things out for yourselves and be that discerning actor. Really carefully read the small print. Think also about the energy that you put out. And the most effective manifestations are basically the basis of what the Catholic Church uses when you go into the cloister, into the confessional, and tell the intermediary priest, who then will pass it on to their God, as it were. That's basically based on what is actually happening internally. You have the claustrum, your thoughts inside, and your feelings are what manifests. The ones you don't vocalize are actually the most powerful ones. It's that biblical quote about the saying, the secret known only to one. It's the secreted brain serum and the interaction through these physical bodies with the metaphysical that manifests as a physical in this reality, be it an object or a presentation of things going right or things going wrong. But it's all a beautiful experience. It's all about perception. If you think of an art studio, you've got 4 painters, you've got a table in the middle of the 4 of them, and they're painting a fruit bowl and the fruit that's in it. Now, depending on which side of the table you're sitting on will determine your perspective of that fruit bowl. So on the south side of the table, you may get one that says, well, this fruit bowl is full of nothing but pineapples and grapes. But the one from the northern perspective that is looking at the same fruit bowl will have a view that shows maybe more oranges and mangoes, and they will be saying, no, it's more oranges and mangoes. It's all about perception. It's all about seeing things from all angles. It's that, I think it's called the Sepulture, where you've got the dots in the middle of the circle. The point of everything and the perception of everything really needs to be all round. This is the sort of the awareness, and also vital in a community. For a community work, there has to be transparency, there has to be openness and things. Yeah, Julia, she's stayed away overnight. She's got a friend, very good friend, who's going through a house move, one of the most stressful things, and as I understand it, there's a little problem with the paperwork, and so she's gone off to help a friend. So this is what we do, we help each other out. So I look after Biggie while she's gone, because he just stays by Julia's side pretty much the whole time. Otherwise he will go and faithfully wait there for hours and hours for her to come back. But he has got the good sense, if it's raining, to come indoors, and also if it's sunny and too hot, he does go into the shade. But that's the devoted, unconditional love you get with a dog. Again, part of the rich tapestry of life. So I hope that's uplifted, inspired. in your own personal lives, when things happen, that you look at the situation and think, hold on, this is just a presentation. If I don't react to it, and I don't hold and emit those negative feelings that really does have an interaction with this reality, that you let them pass like passing clouds, and then you could say it's a layer of the veil, because something really beautiful and positive always follows. We're in a realm of duality and contrast. So if you're going through a bit of what seems like a negative phase, think of something like Mercury retrograde. That's often expressed as, oh, better not say anything, we're in Mercury retrograde, and Mercury's all about communication. Well, think about it, retrograde. It's retro means going backwards, retracing your steps. It's something that came up, was shown to Yolanda on True Love Channel when she went out to the stores, and the message that's coming through from observing what this world stage, this reality presents, and having the discernment, recognizing the patterns, being able to see these things. So retrograde, really, don't think of it in a negative way, but look at it more, it's a time to go inward and reflect, retrace steps, which is what I will be doing when it comes to rebuilding the wall, for example. We'll just look at what we've done and do it in a slightly different way, learn from the mistakes. There's a saying about it's third time lucky. Well, it's twice now the wall's collapsed, so one of those things. So we make the best of it, and we don't give in to these scripts of negativity, and we allow the beautiful positive, the lifting of the veil, to happen. So love to you all, and always focus on what you want, as Julia says, and help others when you can. Love to you all. Ta-ta for now.